It's not easy being green, having to spend each day in the color of the leaves.
But not good enough to be the band leader. They're good enough to be in the theatre, but they're not good enough to be the theatre impresario. And I'm trying to sit here and understand why that is manifesting itself, because with the best will in the world, Danny, we understand that people purport to understand that people of a certain colour and creed employ a similar image of themselves, i.e. if you're middle-aged white men, you go to middle-aged or white men to be in your dugout or in your boardroom. Well, how does that equate when you've got a Pakistani owner of Fulham with no Pakistani manager, no Pakistani players, and very little Pakistani representation in his boardroom beside his son? When you go into Manchester City, which is owned by Arabs, there's not any Arabic players, Arabic managers, and there's very little Arabic representation in the boardroom besides his closest business colleague.
Simon, I don't want to get into a row with you about this, but we don't
have to row then. You can have a disagreement.
People are not, by and large, black.
Danny, you're missing my point. The point is the argument is this: it is people that are influencing football that only employ part of the argument. Danny, employ a similar ilk. That is a part of the accusation.
Simon, it's not even football. That is in every aspect of life. Let's go through the argument again. Let me have a go here. Where it is measurable, talent on the pitch, because it's obvious, ex-footballer is better than Y footballer. People of colour, black people to be specific, because
but that's measurable in management as well, Danny, and it's management in every walk of life. It's measurable in if I have a finance director in front of me, Danny, and the best qualified one is a person of colour or person Caucasian, I will employ the best qualified person, and it's measurable in every aspect, Danny. I don't know what you're saying is not.
What I'm saying is, where talent is obvious...
Well, talent's obvious in every walk of life, Danny. If I've got a talented finance director that can run £100 million business for me, that's a talent. It's a talent. What's the difference?
All right, so then it beholds on you to explain why so few people of colour are actually good accounting.
Well, that's not true, Danny, because I've had people of colour that have been finance controllers for me in businesses, so that's not true either.
The figures suggest, Simon, the figures tell you that if, by definition, something like, I don't know, finance director is a good example. Mathematics is something you can learn. So how can we explain?
You can learn anything, Danny, but how good you are at it is another subject.
Simon, let me ask you a question another way then. I'm not picking on you personally.
That's fine. I'm happy with it.
No, fine. What is it that people, when I hear people talking like this, as though there isn't a problem?
Danny, I didn't say that, Danny.
No, you didn't say it in so many words.
No, I didn't say it in any words, Danny.
Okay.
What I said was that we want to have equal opportunity, and as a result of that, we must get to the bottom.
Simon,
of why representation isn't there.
You pick on me sometimes for living in an idealistic world. There is obviously an issue in this country with talent versus privilege. Let's take it away from colour. Half of our prime ministers have been to one school, one posh, fee-paying school. So don't tell me that the structures in this country are not designed to keep certain kinds of people down.
Danny, I didn't go to Eton, and I'm not the prime minister because that's not my vocation. So that's a different argument, Danny.
No, it's not. It's exactly the same argument.
The point is this: is that opportunity is what we're talking about, and equal opportunity is the key component. If you want to sit there and say, which is your privilege and your prerogative, that equal opportunity make equal outcome, then that's your prerogative. It's a rather naive and silly one, but it's your prerogative.
Yes, but I wouldn't say that, Simon, because I don't believe equal opportunity exists currently.
And that's what we're talking about, Danny, aren't we? We're talking about getting to a point where equal opportunity comes to the fore and trying to find out why equal opportunity, if it doesn't exist, which we believe that it doesn't, why, if it does exist, and the argument in football will be, and having known most of the 92 football club chairmen in this country and having been one, if I'm presented with the best candidate, I could not care what they look like. As long as they understand the aspirations of the football club and can win me games, I'm going to employ the best candidate. So moving past that, the question then abounds. Why isn't the supply chain producing these people? Why isn't there enough opportunities being afforded them? And is it the case that football is institutionally racist? Because if it is, let's call it that and let's fix it.
Sure, and what I would say is society is institutionally unequal. Attack it from the race point of view, attack it from an educational point of view, attack it from a privilege point of view, and attack it from a point of view that doesn't see the posh, entitled kids of rich people who've had generations of this stuff going on suddenly find us, oh, you know what, I'd be a really good Prime Minister. We may
John Major didn't go to a public school.
The very fact you could pick out the example shows the problem. Listen, let's press on with other things. We've got lots of things to talk about here on the press box. I'm Danny Kelly. He's Simon Jordan. Sean Custis here as well, though we've got rather shouted over there, I have to say. You're listening to us on the Mighty talkSPORT.
Oh.